In fact, this is not the first time that I'm coming as a keynote speaker, but I
Yes.
found the theme very interesting. So that's why I was thinking what has to be talked about, though I'm not an expert in this.
Yeah, and that is
But
why we are getting a lot of questions here, sir. Very interactive it is becoming.
yeah,
Thank you, sir.
so
Please continue.
what I was thinking is about the topic and all these things. So I'm starting from where the previous speaker stopped. So I'm answering your question also, Dr. Dresh. So one area of research which can be done is what I'm going to present today, which is exploring the intersection of innovation management and changing social dynamics. So I think relevantly or more predominantly, a lot of research will happen now in the area of how social dynamics will coexist with artificial intelligence, IoT, blockchain, and so and so. So this is what's going to be the future for now. How we are able to manage people and dynamics of changing systems because of the advent of system or artificial intelligence and other so-called technology changes. So I think this is what is the main thing. So I thought, let me just go into that. Though this is not a research paper, but I just thought about giving some insights which everybody knows, but again reinforcing the facts. So, what the main aspects which I'm going to cover here is the evolving social landscape and its impact on leadership. So, what I feel is that, and again, I'm answering to some of the questions which I was listening to. What is going to happen now is the hard skills is going to be done by the so-called machines, but the soft skills you talk about, the interactions, the leadership, the social systems, that's going to be the changing scenario now. So there's going to be a lot of emphasis on the leadership. There's going to be a lot of emphasis on uh, interactions. There's going to be a lot of interaction, a lot of dimension thinking about team development. So these are going to be the main aspects which are going to be there in the future. So the traditional management models will change, new things will change coming as of now. It's already come, but it's going to change the whole system. But leadership, teamwork, soft skills, uh, social changes, the need for interactions, I don't think these things will change a lot. So if you look at this aspect, let me first go into the aspect of innovation, what we are talking about, and how innovations have come. Most of the things we already know. So innovation has now come because of different reasons. One of the reasons, of course, technology. New technologies have emerged, so that has brought a lot of innovations into the market. Business has changed into a different dimension now, and society has changed its ways. Now, if you look at it, uh, uh, say 10 years before, in India at least, we can say we never used to think about payment online, but now very few people mm, are carrying cash in their pockets. All of them are done through the online system, either through using credit card or debit card or Google Pay, which is used very much in India. So the needs of the society has changed, and how that has helped the organizations to innovate. So organizations have understood that it's not going to be the traditional thing. You have to integrate things which are changing in, and it's important to understand what customer want, but it's more than that, what customers really are interested in. For example, Ritz Carlton is one this example I tell to even students. Ritz Carlton is one example which you can clearly see. See, if, the classic example is one family went to a Ritz Carlton hotel in somewhere in US, and when going back, the kid actually lost his stuffed giraffe. So this is not a very recent example, but a good example to show what is changing. So stuffed giraffe was left behind by the family. The kid started crying because very small kid wanted that. So the hotel understood that this has happened. So what they did was, instead of directly giving back to them, they innovated. They understood what the customer wants, and they took a lot of pics of the stuffed giraffe in different angles, in swimming pool, in the room, with decoration and all those things, and they made a collage of it, and they sent it to the family with the stuffed giraffe. So when the family reached at the home, the digitally innovated, the technologically advanced and uh, realistic looking giraffe and its pics was seen by the family, and they were so happy. So this is going to be the thing. What is the customer required is not an issue now. What will delight the customer, and that's where technology is coming in. So there are a lot of things like AI is coming in, Internet of Things is coming, blockchain is coming in, but more importantly, there has to be a lot of emphasis on sustainability, diversity, and equality, which is going to be the real question which it will come and you go ahead. There are a lot of emphasis on gig economy, um, you know, contract work, people working in different places, remote work, which is already seen after COVID-19, So all these things are coming in. And best example could be, one of the examples could be Tesla, which talks about greenery, sustainability, and managing all these things with societal demand. In fact, right now we are doing a study on green supply chain. I think that's going to be another area. What is going to be the impact on society on green supply chain, and also an emphasis on giving the right picture outside. A lot of companies are now going to be questioned on whether they are doing ethical facts. So greenwashing is going to be an issue now. So societal aspects, giving the right picture, ethical dimensions, um, diversity, all these questions are going to come in future a lot. So you are now going to talk about, and I think this is the area where you can a lot of research will happen answering Dr. Rudresh's question. So there's a lot of demand for diversity, equity, and inclusion, and the sustainability, which definitely everybody knows. And I think there's going to be a lot of questions and a lot of research will come into an integration of technology, uh, diversity, mental health awareness, work structure. These are the areas which are going to be a real focus areas coming forward. One of the examples which I found out is a company called Patagonia, which is mainly a clothing company. They are leading example of how they are evolving with impact of technology and its strategy, and combined with social aspects. So they look into the aspect, and they say if the particular cloth is not environmentally friendly, they say don't buy this jacket. So that's going to be the mantra forward. A lot of emphasis on environmental side and sustainability from the organization side, and a lot of emphasis on mental health awareness from the social side. So a lot of technological advances already happening. Remote work, as I already told. I think the previous speaker was talking a lot about data analytics, data driven. A lot of emphasis will now come in DEI and CSR, which is already happening. That's a very important aspect which is going to come. For example, Microsoft is talking about sustainability, completely carbon negative by 2030, which is a very focus area nowadays with a lot of organizations. Uh, when you think about rethinking management in terms of innovation, and I'm looking from that angle of innovation only, the three important aspects which are going to be happening, and I think that's most important among this is the leadership is going to be agile management, which is talking about speed, flexibility, And the best example is what we call as Spotify, which is using teams which are called as squads to innovate and adapt to the market changes. There's going to be a lot of focus on the leadership, uh, taking innovations to a higher level, risk-taking abilities. Best example, we don't have to go anywhere, but Jeff Bezos has created a culture where they say, of course, it's okay if you fail, but you have to go for improvement. Now, if I don't know how many of you are cricket fans, but this is what England is taking forward in the cricket team. You know, they say, let's fail, let's not worry about what is the result. Let's be aggressive, and I think that's going to be the mantra. Let's go for what is going to be the need of the hour. In that process, you might fail, but that's okay. That's going to be paving way for success in future. So innovation is going to be a very important thing, and definitely, as I already given the example of Ritz Carlton, customer centric and customer delight is going to be the focus, and you don't have to go anywhere else, but Apple is the best example for that. Meanwhile, when you go for all these things, there are going to be challenges and which are going to be in between, which I'm going to talk about. So I'm going to talk about two small case studies which are already well known. One is, of course, Netflix, which has changed from DVD rentals to nowadays the leading Netflix, leading OTT platform in the world, one of the leading platforms in the world. I've not gone into what is the exact market share right now, but they are they are adapting themselves to global accessibility and diverse content. And if you see the content, I don't think any OTT platform can defeat Netflix in terms of how the content is evolved over the time and how they are involving the employees and empowering them to come out with innovations. And I think that's one of the reasons why they are able to come out with such diverse content in terms of whether it is movies or whether it is episodes or anything else. You know, their content is superb, and I think that's where the employee has come into the force. And another thing is the sales force, which is basically into understanding and developing software for customer centricity and CRM focus. They focus on equality within the workplace and equality in the leadership and innovating using cloud-based services. Combining technology with leadership is a very, very interesting case with respect to how the innovation is changed. Remember, until unless there is complete transformative leadership coupled with employee empowerment, these things will never happen. So when you are going into all these things, there are going to be challenges, there are going to be opportunities. So resistance to change, we already have that resistance, right? In fact, that was the previous question, previous speaker was talking about. So there is going to be resistance to change. Even we don't want to change unless there's absolute necessity. We don't want to change our comfortable area, comfort zone. We don't want to change, but that's going to be one of the main challenge. Ethics, which I already talked about, how do you balance innovation with ethics? So when you look into incorporating a lot of innovation, a lot of technological advancements, definitely there is going to be unethical practice. So how do you balance it is going to be an issue. And I think the most important thing is if technology comes in a lot, what about the jobs? What about the employees? What do they do? So, and how do you manage the society? And that is going to be a conflict which is going to exist. So how do you manage that is going to be a challenge. But at the same time, there are opportunities because there is innovation, new markets will be there, new ideas will come. You can see so many startups coming in with different ideas now, different changes. Employee will be more engaged because without their, for example, Netflix, without their ideas, without their innovation, nothing will happen. And obviously, when you have a lot of technology, again, as previous speaker talked about, there will be a lot of responsible and ethical, I can't say responsible and child directed, um, inclusive growth as far as the organization is concerned. Best example is Tesla, we already discussed. So there will be a nexus, of course. So you'll have to manage flexibility, you have to manage ethical things, you have to talk about inclusivity, you have to talk about social impact, you have to talk about the sustainability, you have to talk about technology also, and leaders must be able to balance all these things and create growth, and that's going to be a real question. Thank you for your attention. Thank you. This is it from my side.